Welcome back to part 3 of our standard operating procedure video for creating and distributing the weekly Columbus Net IP newsletter. The last week we were at is we now know how to integrate pictures into our email. Now once we've created our content, which for the example of this purpose we have, then you want to hit the preview HTML button. It's the first tab button under the words HTML version. Now clicking on that, it will create a pop-up window, and the window will show you exactly what your people will be looking at when they create the email. You can see that it has accurately created what I wanted. Close out your preview window, and if you're happy with it, at the very bottom, hit the Save Content button. Once the content is saved, you will see the listing of all the documents. Now, the next step is to address and assemble email. And we're almost done. You'll see the listing of distribution emails. What you want to do is find yours that we were working in, which is copy of NetIP Columbus Weekly Newsletter. And then in the right-hand column, there are some options. Calculate, display, in one column. Second column is send test email and check spam rating. And in the third column, edit, duplicate, and delete. So for this purposes, in the action column, we want to do edit. Now, in edit, there are a couple things we need to talk about. First, in the first area, it basically says who it's from, where our reply address is, and who we want to send it to. Now, in the BCC email addresses, if you want to add anybody to the distribution list of the email without actually having them always being there, like if you want to just send one specifically to a sponsor or to a board member or somebody else's or a potential board member, chapter member, then you would put them in the BCC addresses. In the subject heading is where you want the subject for this week's newsletter. Now, currently, I put in the name or a brief, the name of actually every topic that we talk about or section or event. Actually, I apologize. Every event that we have, I've listed here in the subject line. Now, once you've done that, basically, you just hit the Save Email button, and that's just about it. Alright, if everything is working fine so far, it just brings you out to the main menu. Then, the next part is actually really very important. In the testing options, there is a button called Send Test Email. It's the first one in the testing options column. Click on that. It will create a pop-up window. The pop-up window will say, do you really want to test? And it'll say where the test email is going to. It's going to the netupcolumbus.yahoo.com. Or, I'm sorry, the current email address is, which is netupcmh@yahoo.com. Then hit Send and Test Email. Okay, if it's done successfully, at the top of the screen, it will refresh and say, Test Email was sent successfully in red letters. We're almost done. Take a look at the test email at the NetUp account, and if everything is agreeable to you and the way you want it to look, then go back into Harris Connect and click on the fourth item, which is Send and Schedule. Now, there are a few options here. If you want to send a broadcast email, or this email, right now at this instant, you can click on the yellow. I highly recommend not doing that, because it doesn't give you any time to make any final changes if something pops up. Most of the time, what I would do is go into the actual date, which is today's date, which is Monday the 12th. click on the date you want the email to go out. Then there are timings listed for the date, broken up in every half hour. So let's suppose I wanted to send my email at 10 o'clock p.m. I've clicked on 10 o'clock p.m. A pop-up window comes up with a listing of all the possible letters I can send out. But I want to pick the copy of NetIP Columbus Weekly Newsletter. And if you want, you can open up the window a little bigger, and you will see schedule this email now. Once it's successfully done that, it will refresh the window. And if you take a look, though, this is an important part. Scroll back down to your time. It will show you the email that you have sent, but at the very bottom, there will be one button there that says Approve. Now, hint, if you do not hit the Approve button, it will not go out without it. So I'm going to click the Approve button, and that's it. It will be scheduled to go out at 10 o'clock p.m. Now, if I want to stop that email, all I have to do is click on that time again, and it'll give me the options to either delete, reject, or reschedule, and I want to click delete. It'll ask me if I'm sure I want to delete, and I say yes, and that's it. So at the end of this video, which is right now, you should know how to create and distribute your content for the weekly newsletter. Thank you very much, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach your webmaster or your president of the board of directors. Thank you very much.